Enough. Your iniquities have led you here. There's no going back now. Face the truth.
This game is weird. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. The internet can be an amazing place, but sometimes you just need more. Introducing NordVPN. By connecting to Nord's virtual private network, you can help keep your internet browsing safe and anonymous, as well as change your location to access content that's not available where you are. Can't enjoy something because of government shenanigans?
How about no?
And suppose I'm trying to watch something with my fiancé who's overseas, but it's not available where I am. Well, all I have to do is change which of Nord's servers I'm connected to, and you are sorted, mate.
We're going on an adventure, Charlie.
I've also found it useful when doing research for my videos, not gonna lie. Get the best deal you can on NordVPN by using my link below to get a huge discount on a 2-year plan, plus an extra 4 bonus months. And with a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee, you have to admit that it sounds pretty nice. That's nordvpn.com/cynicalreviews, link in the description and pinned comment. And thanks to Nord for sponsoring. I have a video about the disastrous Snow White remake in the works, but I was a little worried about getting it finished to a good standard before a sponsorship deadline, so I decided to make something shorter in the meantime. And I thought, why not embrace my passion for video games while doing so? Video game reviews are something I'd like to do more on this channel, in addition to the stuff that I'm more used to doing, so let me know what you think about that in the comments. And I think I've found a doozy for you.
You asked, and we delivered. The #1 best-selling rat solution in all of it is back.
I have a question for you, dear viewers. It's important you know the answer to this. It's one of the most important questions you'll ever get asked in your life. Have you ever wanted to shake a rat? Not for real, obviously. Peter, if you're watching, please don't firebomb my house. Well, now you can in Ratshaker, a low-budget indie game from Sunscorched Studios that combines psychological horror and absurdist comedy in equal measure.
All your worries will be shaken off with ease. With Ratshaker, you'll never have to reckon with what you've done.
It's the hottest thing since Sydney Sweeney's bathwater soap, and only slightly less weird. And honestly, weird doesn't even begin to describe this game. This isn't a fever dream, it's not even a drug withdrawal babies crawling on the ceiling dream. It's in a class of its own. That is Ratshaker, essentially. And if you have no idea what you just saw, don't worry, that only proves that you are still sane. Ratshaker isn't just a game, it's a lifestyle choice. Once you shake the rat, you'll never go back. It's like mindfulness, but for absolute weirdos. If you love rats, you'll love this game. And if you hate rats, you'll still love the game, because you get to squeeze a rat.
Are you tired of dealing with pesky rats that just won't leave you alone? Introducing Ratshaker, the fast, easy, and fun way to keep rats in check. Just hold, shake, and watch that meter roar.
Well, I'm sold. And so the game begins. Man, Remy fell on hard times after the restaurant closed. I get it though, people have done far more embarrassing things to pay bills. In case you're wondering, no, there's nothing wrong with your screen. The game really looks like this. That's because of a VHS filter that's on by default. As we'll see, this is very thematic and adds to the sense of mystery, the grittiness, uncanniness, and the blurred line between reality and delusion that the game plays heavily on. It definitely adds to the sense of, I have no idea what the fuck is going on here. Plus, VHS tapes are one of the game's recurring motifs, so I completely understand why this exists. I love low resolution and pixelated graphics, and I think this can work really well in the horror genre. But here I felt it was too much, like I was playing the game with my glasses off. They did later add in the option to turn the VHS filter off, which I really appreciate. And I didn't want anything coming between me and my precious rat, so for the most part I played with it off. However, it is pretty obvious that you're meant to have it on. Some of the textures are lower res than others, which doesn't matter when everything has the blurry filter over it, but is very noticeable when that isn't there. So that's just something to bear in mind. You can also adjust the field of view to take in more of the environment, or focus on what really matters. But our first order of business is to shake that rat. You can't move or look around, so what else are you going to do?
Now keep shaking to find out what you need to know from the rat, because the rat knows and you do not know, but you should know because of what you did.
Thing is, you have to really shake that rat. Like, for several minutes. It's a little bit overkill. Just imagine that you're Anton Ego from Ratatouille and you've just invested in a restaurant entirely reliant on a genius chef who will be dead within 2 years. Or imagine the rat is that one politician that just needs to fuck off. You can shake the rat up, down, left, right, in circles, however you please. The possibilities are limitless. And it's surprisingly satisfying. You have to enjoy the little things in life. The world might be collapsing around you, but on the other hand, you can shake a rat. That 2.9% are missing out, let me tell you. I had a go at doing this on my Steam Deck, and the results were... interesting?
I yield. You've broken my will. Oh, great shaker of rats.
I think I might have broken more than that, mate.
Listen. Listen to the rat. Listen for what it has to say.
It doesn't matter how much you shake me.
It has nothing.
You can't undo what has been done.
Whoa,
And after the shaking comes the squeezing. Big text flashes on the screen telling you when to shake, squeeze, or stop. Someone had a lot of fun recording the sounds for the rat. I hope the neighbours don't hear this. That would be difficult to explain. By the way, the rat's voice actor recorded a playthrough of the game with commentary. Check it out, link in the description. The rat takes all this in his stride though. He's a real trooper. He goes back to being completely normal as soon as you stop violating him. He is indeed shaken, not stirred. Squeezing the rat is how you interact with the environment, opening doors, picking up objects, flicking switches, and so forth. Doing so drains your rat shaker meter, which you have to fill up by shaking the rat. This first time, the meter fills up very slowly to make sure you get the idea. So the titular rat shaking becomes a core part of the gameplay, and it's certainly unique. I will give it that. It's almost like you're milking it.
I'm milking rat! Milking rat!
If you told me that animal cruelty was a game mechanic I would enjoy, I would have questioned your judgment and told you to get out of my house. It's fine though, the rat likes it. Well, that's just a little inappropriate. There might be kids watching. But he has his limits. Shake him too much and he might have some choice words for you.
Actually don't do that. Your actions have verminant consequences, you know. Oh my god, I think you broke something.
I mean, what do you want from me? I was told to shake the rat. You can interact with something if this symbol appears on the screen. Sometimes the interact symbol would appear without a usable object. I assume it's a glitch because it only happened in certain rooms. The game demonstrates how this mechanic works by having a house and barn appear after you have your way with the rat.
The answers you seek are over there. Beyond that hill stands a house that was not there before. A house that has no familiar shape. A house built by sin. Go now, Ratshaker. Seek what you yearn for.
It's at this point that you can finally move around. If you try to nope the fuck out of this situation, you die and have to do all that shaking all over again. So don't. The walking pace is excruciatingly slow, and I do understand why. This is a horror game, but it does get old when you have to backtrack or repeat sections. Maybe you walk so slow because you don't have any fucking legs. There's also an option to disable the head bobbing, which is on by default, if that's not your thing.
I have to confess, when me and my friends sort of used to run through the fields of wheat, the farmers weren't too pleased about that.
The rat insists that you must go in the house.
This is where it happened. You must know what's inside, and there's no turning back. You must find it. Abandon hope, ye who enter here.
But that door looks scary. I don't want to go in there. I'm going to go to the barn instead. Very, very slowly go to the barn. Okay, go forward. There's nothing there. Maybe up? Well, fuck me, I guess. Of all the things I expected to happen, that was not one of them. And I've got to do all that shaking all over again. If nothing else, this should let you know that you shouldn't take this game 100% seriously. If you weren't already aware of that. While we're on the subject of walking, let's talk about the gameplay. If we're going to be harsh, Ratshaker is essentially a walking simulator. Aside from fondling the rat, there's really not much to do except walk around and interact with the few objects that you're allowed to. There's no combat, although using the rat as a weapon would be pretty funny. And apart from the rat-powered generators we'll see later, there's no puzzles in the game. You're not exactly leading a dynasty through hundreds of years of complex history or defining the future of humanity. It's pretty simple. You shake a rat. It's as complicated as it needs to be to achieve what it's trying to do. And what more could you want? Now, if you stand outside the door without going in for 1 minute, you get an achievement. While we're standing here, the sound design is better than it has any right to be. Ratshaker is definitely best played with headphones, so you can appreciate the little audio nuances and the inner voices that torment you and urge you to continue forward.
Shaking the rat, then you will not get the answers to your questions, and you need to know the answers to your questions, because if you do not know the answers to your questions, then you will not find out what you need to know, and you need to know what you need to know because of what you did.
3 words. You say it, and I'm yours.
Shake the rat.
Once you enter the house, the inner voices stop and everything goes quiet. The first room is fairly unassuming. Pretty standard, apart from this odd art piece and what I hope is not dried cum all over the ceiling. The house looks like one that's just been bought and moved into by a young couple, with boxes everywhere, a toilet that doesn't work, and a room with rat HS tapes on the floor, which I accidentally managed to trap myself in total darkness. There's also a locked door with a mysterious shape made out of static. We are given a mission. Find it. In the living room is a TV which plays the ad from the beginning of the game, and below this is a VHS player. Interacting with it gets you a piece of a torn photograph that matches the shape on the door. Finding these photograph pieces is how you unlock the way to further areas of the house, and reassembling the photo is part of this game's mystery. I feel like this is only going to go one way, and it's not a good way. Going down the stairs past the nipple light is where things start to get a little more creepy. If you try to go back, the door won't open. You're in deep now, boy. You walk into what appears to be the same house, except now there are signs that something is wrong. When I turned on the TV this time, it exploded. And because I was standing so close to it, the rat got impaled by a piece of the screen and fucking died? Apparently, this is not a good thing, because I immediately got swarmed by rats, Kenny from South Park style, and died again. To my immeasurable disappointment and the ruin of my day, there was nothing to be found in or under the TV this time. So I tried the oven.
Stop running. That's a clean burning hell, I tell you what.
This also happened when I interacted with the sofa.
She never loved you.
You didn't have to cut me so deep, man. The bathroom also has Ratshaker in the sink, the tap of which runs with blood, of which the toilet is also now full. The jokes write themselves. What was once a storeroom is now a baby's room. In the crib is a pixelated crying baby with rats crawling all over it. Shaking the rat makes this problem go away. Wait. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. It also gets us the next piece of the photograph. At this point, I decided to keep squeezing the rat to see what would happen. In a perhaps unshocking turn of events, it died, and I got eaten by rats again. But this time, I woke up in a brand new corridor. This is actually the entrance to the third iteration of the house that the game conveniently decided to skip me to. And the deeper we go, the more reality begins to break down. Ah! Fuck! Fuck! I hate how susceptible I am to jump scares. It pisses me off. Well, now the party's really starting. Don't do drugs, kids. Am I going to have to censor this? Wait, come back here, I was asking you a question. In this third house, it becomes rather dark.
Oh?
What the fuck? Yes, from now on, the rat functions as a glow stick, which you charge up by shaking it. The light doesn't reach very far, limiting your range of vision and adding to the feeling of unease that comes from not knowing what's around you. You can't interact with the TV on this level because there's a swarm of rats in the way, and now the VHS tapes are piling up.
I have to return some videotapes.
Oh, I wonder what's going to happen if I interact with this.
Stop running.
Even if you walk away as far as you can, you still die. Because you can never outrun your problems, the rat will not be defied. You also start finding more packets of Ratshaker and bags of trash everywhere. The bathroom has now become a spaghetti abomination, and the bathtub and sink now fill up with blood, as is tradition. Well, that was the logical conclusion, I suppose. Later, I found another TV with a mysterious image of a bound woman. I interacted with it, and wouldn't you know it, it exploded, killing the rat again. I'll admit that one's on me, I did not learn from my mistakes. The baby's room is now much meatier. And then the game shut down. I have no idea why this happened, it was probably my fault. But when I restarted, I was back at the last checkpoint. Which I was very surprised at, because before this point, every time I exited the game, it reset all my progress and I had to start back at the beginning. There is a restart button if you do want to do that, but I didn't. This time, the rat was looking out for me. I decided to test this by exiting the game for real. Okay, I have absolutely no idea why it's different now, but I am not going to question it. It did, however, reset the game's resolution, which was a bit annoying. Having no luck finding the next photograph piece in this area, we descend down a long dark corridor, coming to a new area which reminds me of various locations from the Silent Hill games. Even with the glowing rat, you can barely see shit on this level. Here we start to find barrels of hazardous chemicals, presumably some kind of poison or acid. Down this nasty corridor, we find another photograph piece, which opens up the entrance to a maze-like prison, in the centre of which is a bed, upon which is a body covered in black plastic. I'm starting to suspect that we may have done something naughty. After navigating through the maze and walking down a corridor full of more fucked up artwork, the creativity of which I must admire, I do say, we come to what appears to be a relatively normal room. Oh wait, there it is. Maybe I can revive them with the rat? Well, now I just feel defrauded. We find the final piece of the photograph, and that is unsettling.
Face the truth.
And now we descend to the final part of the game, the basement. A section that was substantially changed and expanded when the developers updated the game with the director's cut. The basement resembles a dystopian prison, or more accurately, a serial killer's secret den. Oh, god damn it, not again! Looks like the prisoner's final meal was a rat. How does that make you feel, buddy? You doing okay there? Need a sponsorship from BetterHelp? Next door is a walk-in meat fridge. Get on there, you little bitch. Wait, that looks a bit suspect. As I was trying to capture that bit of footage, the game crashed. I can only assume that the rat was trying to get its revenge. Look, you may think I'm being harsh to the rat, but think of it as payback for the way he's always staring at me with that beady little eye, judging me for my poor choices. In the next room is a modern art exhibit. No actual rats were harmed, I'm sure. This isn't a James Cameron movie. Third time's the charm.
Stop running.
Do you know the definition of insanity?
Eventually you come to a locked gate, which needs to be powered up by a generator. How do you start the generator? By shaking the rat, of course. In case you had forgotten what game it was you were watching. I'm just saying, I have a little bit of experience in this field. Is this Barney Gumball's room? Jesus.
Jesus.
Nah, I'm good.
Wall boobs?
So right.
Are those wall boobs?
Well, I didn't have blood titties on my bingo card. I think it's meant to be the rat's eyes. That or there's some weird Freudian shit going on here. Ah, fuck! Fuck's sake! And the game crashed again. I got back to the section with the jump scare and the game crashed again. Since it hadn't crashed until I started recording, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that it's not the game's fault. And this is how I discovered that object physics sometimes actually matter in this game. Get out of the way! Get the fuck out of the way! Oh, and there was also this time when the furniture in the Matrix glitch room blocked my progress and the game just decided to kill me. What was I supposed to do? The only interesting thing in the room is Shrek's juices. And around the corner we find another door that needs powering up. So we turn to the room on the other side of the corridor, which appears almost to be a makeshift chapel, and a room full of chemicals, which unfortunately you can't dunk the rat in. Yes, Inquisitor, this door right here. You have to shake the rat to open it, as is to be expected, but you have to keep shaking it. Don't be a twat like me and stop when you're already inside, or you'll achieve death by snoo-snoo. I wonder if there's a metaphor there. So I found the second generator, but because my hand slipped off my mouse for a second, the rat mocked me as I died.
Pathetic.
And at this point, I was getting very sick of having to do this first generator.
I've been calling y'all for better than a month now, grab about y'all every time that dang old porgy's butthole come on.
After going through the now open gate, we come across another beef curtain door. Bang on theme, to the left of this was a room full of actual shit. I'm just gonna back slowly out of there. And there's yet another locked gate. POV, you're watching the Snow White remake. Now that's also a fair reaction. Next up is a shower room.
What a waste of flesh.
This rat is psychotic. Later, there's an image of a woman reaching out her arms as if to hug you, or something worse. If you stand there, she sings to you. Creepy. After some more demonetized doors and a literal meat canyon, we find the last generator. This guy is not having a good time. There's also an achievement for staring at this generator for 5 minutes. It's not like I had anything better to do. It's perfect for when you have to take a shit, honestly. And on your way back, the rat noises get even more demented. Now, I've seen arguments from some fans of the game that the director's cut changes to the basement made the game worse. And I think they might have a point. The basement is by far the longest section of the game, and it overstays its welcome. Quite a few of its rooms feel pointless and don't appear to add anything substantial to the experience. I mean, why is there a room full of shit? Why did they put Asmongold's bedroom in here? What was the point? And the generator puzzles and the flesh doors that you have to open just feel like padding. I do appreciate that they lengthened the game and added more content when they weren't under any obligation to, but the extra horror bits aren't really unique enough. There's only so many times you can see blurry gore and pixelated corpses before it gets old. I think the game would have benefited from being a more streamlined experience, and that's a funny thing to say about a game that's barely an hour long. But on the other hand, you do get more rat shaking, and that's pretty neat. Anyway, before the unlocked gate is a room full of TVs playing the same tape of the woman from before. I decided to destroy them all and see what happened. At a safe distance, of course. Nothing. Nothing happened. Shame. We come to a larger room with more horrors and then a corridor which leads to an elevator. Oh god. Shit, 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 said the constipated man. That can't be good. At the end of this corridor, we are given a final mission. Find her. But before we conclude this epic saga, now that we've seen enough of it, let's talk about how Ratshaker does its horror.
No matter how much you share, you'll never be free of what you've done.
The game begins by making you feel confused. What is Ratshaker? Why are you standing in a field holding a rat? Why is the rat talking to you? You hear a voice in your head taunting you. Whose voice is that? Is it yours? Is it you? The combination of this lack of clarity and the absurdity of having to squeeze and shake a rat throws you off balance and leaves you asking many questions. Then Ratshaker gradually escalates its horror. Once inside the house, everything seems fairly normal, with some exceptions, but the further we progress, the more the atmosphere becomes ominous. The environment and its ambience become more unsettling, the objects within it more threatening, the imagery more disturbing. And there's some fairly fucked up imagery here. The game can be surprisingly horrifying. I do think the game overdoes it a bit with the amount of bloody meat showing. I think they should have held off longer on this and made it more subtle. Also, I really hate jump scares. They're a lazy, cheap way to do horror, and here they were unnecessary. That one flopped, but tish. The game is at its best when it focuses on the brooding atmosphere and gradually increasing psychological and body horror, especially when it involves the unknown and the absurd. When you don't know exactly what things are, they become more unnerving. The game's rudimentary graphics actually help with this, and they also work thematically, because you're experiencing the game through the eyes of someone who has forgotten his past, who isn't sure what's real and what isn't, and for whom everything appears unclear to their confused mind. The graphical glitches actually add to this as well. It's like watching a glitch in the Matrix. It makes you further doubt what's real and what isn't. The result is a very unsettling experience. That being said, the tone of this game is all over the place. On the one hand, you've got voices in your head telling you how awful you are, and on the other, you can die from being hit on the head with an anvil. You've got dead babies, but you've also got a cartoon rat making puns and funny noises when you shake it.
You have a nasty attitude.
But you'd be wrong to dismiss the rat as a gimmick. The humour adds much needed levity to what would otherwise be a very grim experience. Not only does it balance out the horror elements, but it makes those elements more effective through contrast. And it throws you off balance so you don't know what to expect.
I actually have anti-rat shaking powers, so that didn't affect me at all. And also, I'm immortal.
Well, we'll see about that. Ha, not so immortal now, are you? Oh, god damn it. And while the rat does say silly things, it also taunts you and reminds you that, no, he is not your friend.
You cannot escape.
This weird blend of horror, comedy, and absurdism ends up working very well and being kind of amazing. I am 100% here for it. But now we must find her. Following the trail takes us to an actual church this time, one that's much bigger and much meatier. Upon approaching the altar, we finally learn the truth.
Look at what you've done. What started with vows of love now ends up wrapped in plastic, reduced to rat food. You are the wife shaker.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was just not expecting him to say that. That was amazing. Well, the game insists, so I guess I'll just have to shake the wife. Oh god, get away from me. Bad touch, bad touch, bad touch! Can I help you? You doing okay there? Aha, I seem to have discovered your one weakness. Slight elevations in the floor. Alright, I'll let you have this one. I did murder you after all. And now it is us who becomes the Shaken. Honestly, this is the perfect song to end this game on. It just fits so well. And after the credits, you spawn back in at the beginning, ready to begin the cycle anew. But wouldn't you know it, there's actually multiple endings. Well, sort of. In the original game, you just find your wife's body on the floor, and that's where the final shaking happens. They must have thought that this wasn't satisfying enough, which is why they decided to extend the experience. To achieve the updated game's secret ending, as soon as you've shaken the wife, you have to immediately turn around and run back to the entrance. Yes, run. This is the only time in the game you can actually do that. Then you run towards the open door full of light, and the following dialogue plays.
We have the house surrounded. Come out slowly, and we can end this peacefully. Nobody else needs to get hurt. That's it. Let's get this rat bastard.
Absolute cinema.
But what does it all mean? Well, that's an excellent question that I do not know the answer to. Aside from the fact that you killed your wife, almost nothing about the game's story is firmly established and is very much open to interpretation. Fans of the game have put forward their own theories, including one which suggests that the game is ultimately about the protagonist's inner guilt over shaking his rat. Which, unironically, is not without merit. At first I thought this game was just a shitpost, and even if it was, I'm on board. But there might also be much more going on here. Ratshaker is a much cleverer game than it first appears. There are multiple layers of metaphor being employed, and various ways you could interpret its context clues. The state of the house in its second version suggests a strife in the relationship, either caused by or the cause of a descent into alcoholism. The videotapes could be the way the protagonist visualizes his memories, or they could be hardcore porn, with the protagonist becoming increasingly addicted to it. They could even be snuff films, as shown on the TVs. Or that could just be your wife. Or that could be your wife in a snuff film. Initially, you see photographs of both a man and a woman in the house, but from its second iteration, you start to only see photos of a younger man, as if you're consciously trying to block your family from your memories, and regress to a past, happier time, which is why the baby is pixelated and the photograph pieces match with the areas of static. Throughout the game, you see newspapers showing a husband being apprehended for murder. Did you kill the baby as well? Or did it die out of your neglect? Areas of the basement look like that of a serial killer's. Does this mean you were one? Or is this just your guilty conscience exaggerating your crimes? Perhaps you killed your wife because she threatened to rat you out to the cops, and in this way you shook a rat.
I wonder if she knows what happened under her own floorboards.
The bags of trash everywhere could be the various places around the house that you stored the bodies. But then the rats came, attracted by the bodies. So you had to use poison, or even call an exterminator. And this led to your eventual apprehension by the authorities.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
Perhaps the rats represent your character's guilt over their actions, ever increasing, always gnawing away at your conscience. Perhaps you used the rat poison to kill your wife, which is why your guilt manifests in the form of rats. There are references to various famous pieces of artwork, many of which involve a parent and a dead child, such as Goya's Saturn devouring his son, or Ivan the Terrible killing his child. The artwork is incredibly grim and suggests a tragic state of affairs and state of mind. Maybe employing the symbolism of rats is a way for the protagonist to achieve some degree of separation from reality, to obfuscate the awful truth. And perhaps the protagonist is now constantly reliving his crimes in his head, locked away in an asylum or prison. Or perhaps he is in hell, and this is his punishment. Or maybe it really is about jerking off.
Get your hand off my penis!
I mean, the rat does look very phallic, make sexually suggestive noises, and shake the rat sounds like other euphemisms for strangling the monkey. Or maybe it's a metaphor for late-stage capitalism, I don't know. Funnily enough, when I squeezed the capitalist rat to death outside the house, no rat showed up, but I still died. All that money, and you couldn't even buy any friends. But the point is, it's up to you to put things together. The best part of this game is its mystery and its ambiguity. Aside from the rat, obviously. We can't forget about the rat.
Ow! Okay, dude. That one actually hurt, like seriously, cut it out.
Ratshaker truly is a riddle wrapped in an enigma wrapped in a rat. And it makes a refreshing change from all the media that desperately wants to make sure its audience can't possibly misinterpret it. and I really appreciate that. They have distilled perfection into a simple game. Forget all this complicated nonsense about managing factories, empires, deep magic systems, and so on. All we need is a rat we can shake. There's something primal about it. Animalistic. Feral. And sometimes we just need something like that. Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too. I have to say, I have not played a game like this. It is certainly a unique experience. If you do fancy playing it, it's only about $3 on Steam, and it will take you about 30 minutes to an hour to complete. There's also a Supporters Pack DLC which gives you a bunch of skins for the rat. There's Gold Rat, Rat Dog, Rat Man, Shaved Rat, Wife Rat, Rat Walker, and Hell Rat. Wife Rat feels the most thematically appropriate, however, Rat Man just speaks to me on a personal level.
I'm cheesed to meet you too.
And of course, the different rats make different sounds. The Hell Rat one goes pretty hard, not gonna lie. However, the Shaved Rat is the most disturbing. The developers also seem pretty cool. They know exactly what it is they've made here, and they have a great sense of humour about it. They've continued to support and release updates for the game. The aforementioned Director's Cut was released as a free update to those who already owned the game. They even released an update on Valentine's Day that let you kiss the rat. Unfortunately for me, you can't still do this. They're also selling plushies of the rat. These actually look kinda neat. I want one.
Can I please have one? Could you please?
They even added a leaderboard for shaking the rat the most number of times. Man, and I thought I never touched grass. You absolute mad lad. Even if you're not that keen on shaking a rat, maybe pick up this game to support the devs. In this day and age, it's more important than ever to support cool people. I'm just saying, I've spent way more money on games that turned out to be way shittier than this. Honestly, for the price, you can't really ask much more. I mean, look at Concord. Instead of losing hundreds of millions of dollars on some bullshit that nobody wants to play, they could have just made this digital stress ball. So remember, whenever life gets you down, just keep shaking that rat.
For rat is love, rat is life.
Have a rat-tastic day.
Fun fact, the CIA used to pass messages and money to its agents by hiding it inside dead rats. Because who's going to pick up a dead rat? True story. Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed me talking about video games for once, let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do it more often. It is something I would like to do. Next up is that video on the Snow White remake, which is going to be more of a traditional style of video for me. Don't forget to check out this video's sponsor, NordVPN, link in the description. Sub to the Patreon or become a YouTube channel member for early access to uncensored and ad-free videos. Links to the Discord and socials are down below, and I'll see you in the next one.